Hi. Happy Wednesday. Not sure if this is going to work today. We're going to give it a shot. We had some technical issues on Monday, and then I was going to do the video yesterday just as kind of a like makeup, and that didn't work either. So we whatever. Just it is what it is, right? So we're gonna try to get things going today. This is an activity that's kind of just like sort of thrown together. It was inspired by well, I'll let Cole.
Artist decor.
Well, do you want to show everybody? And I'll explain in a second. So this is a picture of what Cole is, his interpretation of what we're doing. You want to tell everybody what it is?
It's the thing we're gonna do today, and it's a picture frame.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah.
A picture holder.
A picture holder.
So, and you'll see what those little curly Q things and what the little round part, and hope you can figure out the picture. So he wanted to give you a illustrated version since we didn't actually have a finished one that we could show you, but we're gonna make one. So, so today's activity was inspired by garden rocks. So in our garden, we last year painted rocks to help us indicate which part of the garden had what vegetable. So, so for the cucumbers, we painted cucumbers on it, tomatoes, painted tomatoes, onions, etc., etc. So I realized that since I changed the garden stuff, a few things that we planted this year, that I need to update my rocks. So it had me thinking about that. And when I was gathering rocks, I remembered a cute little craft that is, I would say, intermediate. I would not say it's beginner. It can be a beginner, but you definitely want someone, maybe an adult. If a kid's going to do it like him, an adult present to help with it. But, and it inspired me thinking, Father's Day is coming up. This could be a really cool one to do for Father's Day. So that's kind of where we're going with that. But what it is just like Cole's picture. It's basically a sorry, it's a little wet right there. It's basically a rock that's painted that you attach wire to, and the wire then holds the picture. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good rendition of what we're gonna do. So I am gonna give this a go, and we're just gonna try it out. So we did some prep work for you, and we'll kind of figure it out as we go here. Let's kind of go down so we can see the supply list and what we need. Okay, so everything you need is laid out right here. Some things you don't need and some things you definitely do need. Okay, so I'll go over kind of the things. I have a lot of rocks. We don't need this many rocks. I put them out just because, well, we're going to make a few of them, and whatever we don't with this activity, this little craft, I'm going to use for the garden. So I'll just have them here anyway. So I was actually going to show that one. So here's an example of a painted rock that we have done in the past. I'm sure you've all done this. This is really fun. This is one side, and then this is another one. Cole and I tag teamed this one. So you want to get a rock that I would say is about, that fits in the palm of your hand, right? So a few inches at least. This size right here would probably be a little bit too small, but you know what? I bet you could make it work. We'll have to see. But I would say aim for any of the sizes that I have here. There's a couple of these that are a little bit too small, but I can use them in the garden, so I just grabbed them anyway. So I would say about this big is what we're aiming for. So you're gonna need a rock. Now you can see that I have a natural one right here. This is what most of them looked like beforehand. You are more than welcome to paint on top of a natural rock, but I will give you a little bit of advice. Just like a white canvas, the canvases are white because white is a nice neutral background, and it'll make all of your colors pop a little bit more, okay? So if you're using a natural color and you want bright colors to show up on your rock, I would suggest painting it white. Just white acrylic paint is fine. So I have done that with all of the rocks that I have here already. Okay. So you will need a rock. You will need some paint brushes, right? some paintbrushes, probably some of the more finer ones, just because you're painting on a very small canvas, essentially. You will need some paint. You can see that Cole chose these colors and the pea green color. I want to lay that right there next to it. Those 3 colors are the colors that Cole decided to go with. And this one, orange, and this like cyan.
And like
okay, so
private pea.
So he's got. So there's some colors that he's got
It
ready.
looks like
okay.
a face,
All
right,
right.
guys?
So you'll need paint. You will need probably a marker, like a Sharpie, or a little bit fatter. It doesn't have to be. It could actually be the end of one of your paintbrushes, but what we're using is the end. We're not actually going to draw with it. Although you could totally draw with it if you wanted to. And you will need either scissors, or what's even better is wire cutters. These are just craft wire cutters. Nothing fancy. Literally, I think these were craft ones made for jewelry making. But this one right here, it's hard for me to get into that. Right, so this one right here is the cuts. I also have some pliers, needle nose pliers here, small, just to help with the next component that we are going to need, and that is wire. Okay, so you will need some aluminum wire. Now I have a couple different weights. I have this one that's a little bit more flimsy. This is for jewelry making. This one might be a little, I don't know what gauge this is. I can't recall. But this one might be a little bit too lightweight, because once you put a picture on it, it might start to fall over. But the one that I found that works really, really well is this one. Says it says 10 pound, but really you're looking for the gauge probably. Pretty close to what picture hanging wire is. This is the one that I am using. And this is going to be the part that is going to hold your frame up. We're going to attach this to the rock, and then this is going to be what holds the actual, not the frame, I'm sorry, the picture, the photograph. So that is why if you have wire cutters, they're the best, right? But if you have scissors that you're okay, maybe don't use your nice like kitchen ones if you don't want to, but if you have scissors, then that will work as well. Okay. So, and then the last thing is, again, not necessary. Like, you don't necessarily need paint. We could just go and do one raw like this. Totally fine. But if you want it to be a little bit more personalized, then you want to paint it with certain colors. But then the last thing, yes, would be beads. Okay. So I have, most of these in here are pony beads. But then there's some decorative ones in here as well. And you'll see, again, you do not need to put beads in, but if you want to make it a little bit more personal, so that's kind of what we are going with.
I think I want one of these and some beads because I like mine.
Sure. Okay, so I think that covers everything you need. So let's go with step 1. Now, Cole and I have sort of jumped ahead. I am going to kind of jump ahead here a little bit too once he starts painting. But the very first thing you want to do, whether you are using a raw or you are using one that is painted white, creating, to make more vibrant colors, doesn't matter. You're going to start with your rock. So pick a rock and you are going to paint it. If you want to paint it, go ahead and paint it, whatever. Do you want to pick a rock real quick? I'm not going to paint one. I'm going to go on to the next step to kind of show everybody. I'm actually going to use this one as an example. But do you want to start painting one right now? Okay. Or you could paint and I could quickly zap it with the hairdryer and blow everybody's ears out.
No,
Can you make a decision since we're live here?
I'll make mine, but Mom.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay. Just, my question to you is do you want to start painting right now since we poured the paint out? Okay, pick a rock. Which rock would you like? You like the big one?
I'm picking.
Okay, let me move the beads out of the way for you. I would say probably not that one, but.
This one.
Okay, all right, so there's Cole's rock, okay? So the first step you're gonna do is you just start painting this rock. It doesn't matter if you wanna paint both sides, you can paint both sides. If you know which side is up, obviously then start. If you know that you want this to be the top, the part that's gonna face up, cool. Otherwise, flip it over. So you're gonna start painting, okay? You can paint right on this. And I am going to get everybody going kind of on the next step. Is that okay with you? Or do you want me to have you paint really quickly and quickly zap it? Basically, that just means we're all going to watch you paint. Is that what you want? You know what? I'll paint one. How about that? It's okay.
Mom.
Yeah.
If you're gonna paint one, then that's the one I want you to use because I don't want you to ruin our special one.
You know what? You're right. This is a very special rock, so I should paint one. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and paint with everybody. So
or you could choose one.
Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna choose this one then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna share the same color paint with you.
Yeah.
I'll just, I'll probably just use a little bit extras of the. So let's start painting. Okay, let's pick a brush.
I think I want this brush.
All right. Oh, we both went for the blue at the same time. All right.
So I'll
So
pick orange.
So I'm just gonna paint on here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna paint some stripes, I guess.
Me too.
You're gonna paint stripes too.
Just kidding. I'm gonna do little things around here. I don't know what things are. I'm gonna draw around here. Then this one.
Oh, I gotta get water. I'll be right back. I didn't get water for our brushes. Excusez-moi. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's good. Wait.
There you go.
This is pretty. It looks like a forest green.
Yeah. So again, no, not necessarily needed to paint it, but I figure if you're gonna make this a personalized thing, go for it.
Whoa, look, my rock, it's so pretty.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks. Mom, I love yours.
Thanks.
But how you like mine, isn't it?
I love it. I think those colors look really good together. The cyan and the orange are really pretty.
Yeah, and also
I'm not gonna do orange. Is that alright? I'm just gonna do these two colors.
Yeah, the pea green is really pretty when it blends together with the blue.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right. Now, one thing that I will tell you, if you are gonna add, when you're painting, just like you're painting anything else, if you know it's going to blend because it's wet, then you can do what I'm going to do here in a second, which is zap it with a hairdryer. Yes, I have a hairdryer in my studio because, well, why not? And so what I'm going to do is we'll zap it. Yeah, I'm going to go with that's good enough. And I'm just going to leave it like that, as, assuming that that's going to be my top and the bottom. Do you want me to rinse that better for you?
No, it's okay.
You got it? Okay. So I'm going to, while you're doing yours really quick, Cole, finishing yours, I'm going to take mine over and I'm going to zap it with the hairdryer. So I don't think my hairdryer will reach this far. Okay, so it's going to get loud, everybody, just for a second. Whoa, paper. Sorry, bud.
It's okay.
All right, more than a second. Sorry about that. That's awesome. I really like those colors that you chose, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
They're really pretty.
So when we do this, we'll use mine, since mine will be dry, and then we'll let yours dry. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. Mine will be almost dry. I'm thinking it'll be close to dry. You hold that down.
Shoo! Shoo! Shoo!
Almost. We're almost there.
Curry! Curry! Curry!
Okay. We're gonna go with. Oh, that's still wet on that side. Hopefully. Hold on. It's wet on the edge. Thought I had it. Okay, we're gonna go with good enough. All right, so we got our rock, right? Our cute little rock, tiniest little thing. Sorry, I can't get much closer with the camera, but otherwise, wouldn't be able to see everything else that we're doing. Okay, so we got our rock. We're gonna set Cole. I'm gonna put yours to the side. Is that okay? Right over here. I'm gonna set yours over there. Just so that we can move on to the next part, and you can help me with this part. Okay. All right. So for the next step. Yeah, that's still a little bit wet right there. Note to self, let it dry completely. It'll look a lot better. Mine's a little bit damp still, but essentially that's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay. So the next step requires you to use and cut wire. So this is where we want not these cute little guys, these little hands, you know, we want something else, an adult hand. Okay, no, careful, honey, those have blades on them, okay? So let's move some of these rocks out of the way, just make a little bit more space. So either your scissors or your wire cutters, and you're gonna need your wire, okay? So the idea is that we're gonna get a piece of wire that I'm going to say is gonna end up being probably maybe 5 inches or so upright, which means we need enough to wrap around. So if you, I would say just gauge, obviously, you know, physics, right? The taller you make the wire, the heavier it's going to bow over, right? There's not as much support. So I would say, but you don't want it super short, right? So I would say aim for a couple inches of height. Yes, Cole, question.
Mom.
Yes.
Your stripes look better than mine.
Oh, I think it's just different.
Shinier
I don't think they look better.
better.
Well, mine's dry. Yours is shiny. Okay, so what I would say is you could maybe double, or maybe not quite fully double that amount. So I'm gonna go for. Can you move your hand out of the way? I just don't want to cut you, honey. I'm gonna go for probably, what is this? Probably like, I'm gonna say about 12 inches is what I'm going to go for. That might be excessive, but I'm going to measure out probably about that much. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So I went ahead and I cut it. So I have about, yeah, that's it. It's about 12 inches. Okay. So the first step is put the wire underneath your rock like so. And you are going to wrap it around. You're just gonna, almost like you're gift wrapping something, and you're gonna pull it together. Now you can use the pliers for this part, or you can just start twisting it with your hand if you want. Let's see if I can use the pliers. Now obviously the thinner the wire is, oh, this is still totally wet, but that's right. The real one is going to be Cole's, the one that Cole's using. Okay, so you can use the pliers to twist it, or you can just kind of wrap it around. Okay, the idea is that you want it to be taut. See how it's like kind of starting to slide off? We want it to be on here a little bit tighter than that. So all I'm going to do is just slide it till it gets to more in the middle, until it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to just twist the wires together, the pieces of metal together. Okay. And because my hands are now like fully covered with wet paint, this is making it a little bit more difficult. So all I'm doing here is I'm just twisting the wire around. It's the end of itself. Okay. And I'm only doing that so that I don't have that like extra piece kind of just sticking out and causing some issues. Yeah. seriously, look at how messy that looks because if I didn't wait for it to dry, but that's okay. All right, so now this is the part where okay, so see what you got here? You're gonna have this little guy that's gonna stand up. What? That's so cute, right?
It
So,
looks like some kind of alien.
You could move on to the next step right now, which is super, super easy, really fast. It'll be done in about 30 seconds. But really quickly, I want to point out, this is the point where you would put on beads if you want beads. Okay, should I put on any beads or should I save all the beads for yours later?
You can put if you want.
Okay. Now also you want to measure out beforehand if your beads will fit, right? Pony beads should fit, no problem. But when you get some of these smaller, teeny, tiny, 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 tiny beads, you may not get the wire through. It just depends, right? So I'm going to try one of these cute little square. Oh, these might be too thin.
Ooh,
Does it
this
fit?
one fits.
Does it fit?
Perfectly.
What color is it?
It's striped.
Okay, well, you can put it on there, or you can put the feather on there.
Feather marker.
Okay, how about we do like a white pony bead? Well, I don't know. I don't want to use a lot of them. I want you to, be able to use the colors for you. So how about I just do I'll do that feather. Here, I got an idea.
I like feathers.
Let's do, I have these 2 brown ones in here. You probably don't want brown, right?
I don't like brown.
Okay, so I'll put a bead on,
maybe
a feather, and then the other brown bead. What do you think? Does that sound good? All right.
Like
now you can go all the way up. Go up as far as you want. You could take this all the way up. Cole probably would. You can go up. But I would say you want to make sure you leave about, I would say 3 inches at the top. Okay. And you'll see why in a second. So let's just say that that's the beads I wanted to put on there. Okay. That's really cute. I don't know if you can see a little bead. Okay. I'm using 2 cameras here today, you guys, so that's why if you see me going to 2 different directions, that's why I'm trying something. My technical difficulties are making me crazy, so we're giving it a shot a different way. Okay, so we're going to go with that. Now here is where you bring in your Sharpie. Okay, this is where you're going to bring your marker in. Okay, all we need the marker for is we just need this sort of fatter stick, really. So we just need something to wrap it around. Thank you, buddy. You watching the camera to make sure it's on? Good. All right. So all you're going to do is you're going to start at the top. Okay. You're going to start at the top. Thank you. Sorry. But I want everybody to be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay. So here's the end of my wire. All right. You're going to need about that much space. So I would say about 3 inches. And all you're going to do is you're going to try to wrap this around and you are going to twist it. And I personally think it's easier if you twist the whole wire around the Sharpie. Once you get the Sharpie on there, you should be able to roll the Sharpie and you want to wrap it, I would say, like about 3 inches. So I'm going to say probably 2 to 3 times. Okay. So I would say I wrapped it about 3 times, 2.5. Okay. So that's what you want. All I did was I had this in here and I used that to wrap it around to make it look a little bit nicer. Okay. So this is what we're looking for. Now, this is sticking out. It's too much space. So all you're going to do either with your fingers or with your pliers, you're just going to tighten it. You just squeeze everything together a little bit. And then I'll let Cole do the honors. Oh, what you doing? We don't want to clamp that part. Okay. So we want it to be straight up like this. So see how that's so cute. Okay, I'm going to let you do the honors. Stop playing with the pliers, please. You have your picture. Let's show everybody the cute little picture. Cute little guy. Okay. I'm going to let you do the honors. Do you know what to do? You just stick it in between. You just slide it in there. Here, I'll hold this still.
I thought it was going to be 2.
And if it doesn't slide, let me see. I might have clamped it. Hold on a second. I may have clamped it too close together. Yeah, I did. I clamped it too close together. I was overzealous here. Okay, so let's get it out a little bit. Okay, now try. Now try. You want it slide it in between those.
Now, guys, if you're wondering,
Okay, let go.
if I'm gonna keep doing baseball, I'm not.
Okay, I can't see this camera. Can't see it. I can't. Okay, so there you go. Let's put this up a little bit so they can
It's
see it.
done
There
though.
we go. Look at that cute little picture holder with that cute little handsome guy.
And sometimes you can also like put a picture frame around it.
Well, it won't hold it then. It'll be too heavy. This metal won't be able to hold it.
Ew.
Isn't that adorable? I think that is so, so, so stinking cute. So there you go. There is your picture frame, or sorry, your picture holder made out of a rock. So cute. And there you go. Now, if you want, obviously, if you want it to turn and face a certain way, like let's say that it read something like, love you, daddy, and you want it to face, then you just twist it around. But that's it. I love it. It's so cute. We're going to wait for yours to dry and we're going to make you one too. So you can make it taller, right? So that just means that if you want it a little bit taller, you want it way up here, then you just need it to be, the metal needs to be, the wire needs to be a little bit longer. That's it, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there you go, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed our fun little makeshift craft here. All right.
Bye.
And that's it. Cool. Excellent. Okay, well, we will see you Friday with I don't know what.
I don't know either.
All right, so there you
Bye.
go. Let's just show up close one more time for you. Cute little, there you go.
Live video.
Ending live video. Signing off. Bye.
Bye.